We are
At
live.
least that's what it says.
Outstanding. Hold on.
We are live on 2 channels because StreamYard has a new feature. So now we are live on the Bear Therapy channel, and we're live on my Johnny Groom's channel. So just testing that out. Next week we'll do it on your channel, Joe, and then like that, just keep.
Well, do I have to be good? Because I know that you would like certain things on your channel, and I
I don't care. Well, it's up to you.
Okay, well, good.
You let me know if you want to do that. That's fine.
Because I'm gonna go crazy. Hey, y'all, here we are. Who's in here? Halifax in the house. Beard Jet, Bearded Zebra, Tyson. Outstanding, guys. There's 8 of you in here. I see 4 in the chat.
We can start.
Welcome to another session of Beard Therapy. We've got some guys on here tonight that I have been waiting to talk to for a long time. It's not that ugly son of a gun in the lower right. I talk to him quite often, and you probably know him anyway. But we're going to go to those young charmers up in the upper right there. Dodge City for Men. Boys, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Pretty nervous. Don't know what to say, so it's going pretty good.
I give 110%.
Introduce yourselves to the audience that doesn't know you.
We just wanted to execute today, so we just had a good week practice. We want to stick to the game and just come out with a W. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. And give it our all.
If you don't follow Dodge City for Men on Instagram, you need to. The young man on the left, your left audience, is Matt. And the young gentleman on the right, your right audience, is Juan.
See.
John, for all you gringos in the house. All right, so we're going to talk to them some more. Don't you worry about that. But the gentleman directly below them in our little Brady Bunch thing here is, of course, Andy, the science geek of the beard reviewing set. How you doing, Andy?
I'm good, sir. How are you? And we're joined also by Rory. She should be making an appearance sporadically throughout the evening. She decided she wants attention right now.
Now, if you don't follow Andy, you should. But Andy just happens. We didn't plan this. At least I don't think we had planned this to start. But Andy is in his week-long review of a company, and that company happens to be Dodge City. Bearded Practitioner did a review. I did a review way back. Well, no, I'm sorry. I did not do a review. My cousin Barbado Joe did a review. So we'll be talking some Dodge City and why I think you guys should spend your fall and Christmas bucks in their place. But first, what's in beard tonight, Andy? I mean, I know, but
interestingly enough, it would happen to be Dodge City Black Heart Bourbon.
We're so featured. And this is a surprise for us. So,
boys, what do you got in beard tonight?
I have a High Noon from, you guessed it, Dodge City. So, yeah, I use a lot of my own products. I actually have just started trying other products and stuff like that. But, tonight I'm using my own stuff, just the oil. What are you using?
I'm Solve, but Black Heart Bourbon.
Black Heart
Bourbon?
Yeah.
Johnny Grooms.
I actually have some aloe vera vitamin E in my on my head and my beard. And I have El Caballero oil.
Oh yeah, you're high on that.
Oh, I love it. I'm done with the sample. I love it. I gotta order that shit. And some Bad Dog Havana
Reserva.
Yeah.
My first tobacco scent and one of my faves.
Love it.
Good
These
stuff.
two mixed together very well. The El Caballero and this, oh man, I love it. I love the combination.
Speaking of tobacco scents, I've got on, there we are. We got some Saloon Spice. Now, this is the revamped Saloon Spice, but we'll talk more about that. And I have the salve. I love that the boys in their Old West theme have a salve. Green is right, guys, right? Green is
the Saloon Spice.
Saloon Spice. I have the salve, and these are the samplers, and we'll talk a little bit more about these guys going forward, too. All right. Some beard news. We'll jump into some beard news before we get into some other stuff. Looks like we're populating. I see Barden in the house, Bearded Joey in the house. Bearded Gents, Broke Ass Beard Supply, outstanding guys. Thanks for coming by.
Very nice.
Yeah, hey, we're a big deal, Johnny. Or if not, we're trying to be.
We're getting there. We're getting there. I love it. Love seeing the companies coming in. That's very nice. Love
it. So couple beard news things. Firstly and foremost, I am the self-appointed campaign manager of Faithfully Bearded's Beardy's Award Show, baby. That Beardy's Award Show. If you have not voted, I think you have until early to mid-November. Tyson, I saw you in the chat earlier. If you're still there, drop the date that the votes are due in by. faithfullybearded.com. It's just 2 pages. I think it's about 10, 12 categories. Please get in there.
Yeah,
and vote. I think
voted.
This is an amazing thing Tyson is doing. Okay? That's beard news number 1. Beard news number 2. For those of you in the know, and there might be a couple in the audience, one at most, this is the Ruddy Reveal. I'm not going to get into all of this, but Ruddy Man Beards. I have done 3 of the 6 months, and I have probably got the 3 worst scents that Jimmy has produced. October 15th. Okay, so we got 5 days, and then the finalists will be announced. So Jimmy's first scent that he did for this, and the idea is it's a secret scent, and there's all this mystery. It's really, really cool. It's a subscription service. You're not in this for the scent. You're in it for the experience. Let's say that. But his first one was laden with smoke. It was horrible. Then I went away, and while I was away, he actually had a scent called Prize Pie that he developed into a real scent. Then I come back to popcorn, which I like to eat popcorn on occasion, but I can't stand the smell of it in a beard oil. And then there's this thing, and we don't know what it is. That's part of the whole thing. This is a label that you can reveal when we all get together for his live stream. We all kind of come together and find the scent out. But the 2 things I have out of this are lemon and cheese, and not a good cheese, okay? This is a really repulsive scent, and I'm just going to be honest about that. But again, that's part of the thing. Jimmy is just a mad scientist doing his thing, but I wanted to say that I chased my son around with this today, and I had a great time. He kept me young because he so hates this one.
Lemon and cheese?
Maybe it's called lemon and cheese. Maybe that is the reveal.
I've heard it was grapefruit. I've heard it's been like smelly feet. There is something sharp and nasty that comes with whatever citrus he's using.
Do you think there's a point where he's just trying to get you to put this in your beard?
A prank.
Well, what it is he just likes to throw some stuff around and see. And if, like with Prize Pie, he turned that into a real scent. I think that's the only one he's turned into a real scent. But those months I missed, there was some good smelling stuff. I'm 0 for 3 with Jimmy. Good thing I love him to death, and I'm going to still keep doing this because of the experience. Yeah, Brett Burton in the house. Glad to see you could make it. Beard Swag in the house. Glad to see you could make it as well, sir. He'll be on here soon. Any beard news from anyone else while we're at it? Boys, anything you see in the beard world this week?
No, we're busy. We're like slammed to the wall preparing for winter shows and fall shows.
Nice. Nice. I love that. And, I love seeing your photos when you guys are at a show. I dig that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Andy, any news you got?
I'm just loading up on a lot of products that didn't make it into a test week, so I can try to squeeze them in and evaluate them before the big winter sales, holiday seasons come up. Just put a review up there on them. So interestingly enough, Ruddy Man is one of those companies. So definitely interested in the DMs that we will be sharing about Jimmy and his mad wizardry.
Before I toss it to Johnny, I will say I got into this whole thing in January, and based on all the posts I saw, Christmas is a great sale time for beard companies. At least it was last year. So save your pennies, save your dimes. Coming up probably in a month or so here, we might start to see those Black Friday sales and other things. So make sure you start socking your money away, because I have a feeling a lot of people can try some companies they've been waiting on, like Dodge City for Men maybe, coming up very soon here. Johnny, beard news for you, sir.
Beer news. I think the biggest beer news this week is your collaboration with Miners.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but
I mean, that's what I saw a lot of, streaming and promo. Look at that bottle.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it looks just like him.
That is awesome. Miners treated me right, baby. I sent them a picture and they hired an artist to do this. How awesome is that? That is a beautiful, not because of me, that's just a beautiful label right there.
All right, we're doing a cowboy version. We're going to that's it.
Same picture,
Barbados
cowboy
Joe got
hat.
a little jealous, boys, but he started off with his scent profile that he wanted you to produce with horse urine, and I told him no. The boys can't do horse urine.
He said no? I thought he said yes. Go check your mailbox.
So, yes, I have a collab with Miners. Thank you very much for mentioning that, Johnny. It's been fun, a lot of fun.
When you start a collab, just for so people who know, like when you start a collab with a company, how does that like finding the scent happen? Do they ship you out like samples for you to smell, or do they say, all right, we're coming out with an oil, we just want to slap your face on there? Like which one was it? Like was it one that you worked on them with them?
Okay,
and stuff,
so I had a collab before this that just never reached fruition. And it was very much, and I kind of try to keep that scent with that company in case it ever decided to come back. Miners hit me up, said some nice things about me, said we want to do this and we want to put your face on the label. I said, oh, that's outstanding. And so what my thing was I wanted something that you could wear in spring or fall. I wanted light and deep and depth. So I said, here's what I'm thinking of. And I said, brown sugar, apricot, tobacco, or bourbon. And I think that was the three I gave them. And they said the brown sugar, they just couldn't get the brown sugar to work. They went with the tobacco and they supplanted vanilla for the brown sugar. And I guess, and this is where my knowledge goes bye-bye, they added the bergamot in there for some purposes, to level it out or do something with it. And there's just a lot of complexity there. It goes in sharp and sweet and it mellows out into a really rich kind of peppery tobacco. So that's cool. I've been real high on Miners, and I felt very honored that they asked me to do it, and they did the scent justice. They totally kicked ass on it.
Very nice.
Well, not to segue too much, but one of the newer companies, at least to the IG radar, that Broke Ass Beard Company, I have heard that their oil is no slouch. So I've already had a couple people tell me that I need to reach out and get me some of that and do my crazy stump beard routine on that stuff. So very much appreciated. My monitor is like right here. That's why I keep looking over there. I'm nosy. Can't help. I'm used to starting shit in chat. So I'm not used to being over here.
Well, they're in here, and there's some good blood stock there. For those who do not know, Eric, who's in charge of Broke Ass Beard Supply, is the brother of the guy who's in charge of Bearded Fox. So this brother tandem, if you haven't tried Bearded Fox, they are great. Oud Stank is phenomenal. So yeah, I want to get some. Eric was an early commenter on my videos and stuff like that, and he's been a very big supporter of me. So I want to pay that back. I plan on being on that broke ass very soon here.
Get on that broke ass, Joe.
Ride.
I'm riding some broke ass, boys. I'm gonna ride that broke ass. Yeah.
Well, let's not let our since we have owners as a captive audience, let's delve into their stuff, Joe. Let's talk about Dodge City snake oil.
I'm going to tell you something. This is the first time we've done this. The few times that I have done an unknown beard company, Johnny, you want to get that ready for me? We've done a few times with segments where I've done an unknown beard company that I think people should know about, and this is the first time I'm going to rep my guests with that honor, because I think you all need to know more about Dodge City for Men. Johnny's got the website, or is in the process of getting the website up there. And let's talk a little bit, guys. Let me give you just like a little intro, and then you guys can take off with it. So the boys started off how long ago?
We started officially in January. The idea inception was in October, actually 1 year ago now.
Okay. And I got their stuff in like late winter, early spring, and my cousin did a review of their stuff, and they got some feedback, I guess, from their shows and other customers. And when did you guys did the revamp, like late spring, early summer?
Yeah, I want to say it was June and July. You go at something, you go at it 110%, and you're like, that's not good enough, and so then you go back and you try and do better. And yeah, so we just kind of revamped everything.
And I'm going to tell you now, it was, if I remember from our DMs, it was John that you said spent some time and did all the new art for the labels and all that jazz.
It was a swap. So I do all the graphic design. He does the majority, almost all of the scents. So
okay. So you did the graphic design and John did the scents. Now, you have that, Johnny? Do you have that site up? Go ahead and let's show the folk. All right, so here's Dodge City for Men's website. 4 cents. It's been a while, boys, since I've been on here. I know they have an oil. They have what they call a salve, which to me is like a butter balm like mix, but Andy can speak more to that. They have an amazing wash that they sent me that I think everyone across the board likes this wash. And as you see here, and I'm going to hand it over to you guys, as we look at those 4 balm labels, the first and third balm labels are similar in their graphic design to the original 4. They all had that kind of golden background and then incorporated these Western themes. The second and fourth are complete redesigns. They went away from the gold, etc. And they redesigned at least 3 of the 4 scents, boys. I don't know. I only tried 2 of them before the redesign. Go ahead and take us through that process because I think it's amazing.
Yeah, so, and I'll kind of lead this into John, but so what we decided is out of the 3 scents, we did a lot of shows, and one of the scents did well, and the other 2 did not, to put it simply. So we were like, audience first, customers first. Clearly, they just got to be better. So we scrapped those, and then we just brought in 3 new ones, and that led us to 4. The one that we kept, the holdover, was Fool's Gold, which is a Virginia tobacco vanilla scent. When I started, I love tobacco vanilla. I like how it smells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of we went there. And John makes the scents. It's kind of an odd process, but it works. John, if you want to shed some light on.
Yeah, we were talking when we started a little bit into this about scent complexities and scent profiles, and Fool's Gold just works. Virginia tobacco and vanilla. I mean, I don't know many beer companies that don't have tobacco vanilla. It works really well.
Right.
Everything else, when we sat down and went back, High Noon was originally a different scent, and Saloon Spice also got changed. But I like to play with it. It's like I want you to envision with Black Heart Bourbon, for example, walking into like a bourbon cellar, walking down and kind of feeling like the air of the room, smelling the oak barrels, getting that little hint of bourbon. And I want you to see that because that's what I see when we were putting the scents together. It's just trying to build that environment and bring the scent to life.
Yeah.
Well, and to interject here, not to take away from the product itself, because that's ultimately what it's about. The first impression that I got as a customer going to your website was how easy it was to use. It's very simple to navigate. Especially if I bought a lot, and I'm sure Joe and Johnny have too, have bought from Etsy companies and some of the sites that companies get made, and they are just atrocious to try to navigate the different scents, to try to get stuff through your cart, to get it ordered and get out of there. And whoever designed your webpage, I think he set you guys up I think he set you up well. I think it'll serve you well.
Yeah, that was just us. We don't have
did good.
Think of rapport, so we just figure out essentially everything. We just we're just tackle it. Yeah, tackle it. We don't care. Yeah, we don't have anything else to do besides our jobs. So and but I know I appreciate that. It's mighty praise coming from you, and we just kind of go for it. Like, we do a lot of research. We try to be really serious about everything because this is all really serious to us. So, and it's all about the customer. So as easy as possible. Yeah, that's what we're about.
I'm going to say this. What I thought was a kind of a ballsy maneuver on your guys' part, because I bought the Fool's Gold in the salve, and I bought the original Saloon Spice in the oil. And while I love that Saloon Spice, unfortunately, I did the review, and you got the guy that loves long scent duration. And it was a little mild out of the bottle, and it didn't last well. But we talked about the health benefits of the oil and how you guys were health first, scent second, which I totally respected and I dig. I love that you kept Saloon Spice because it's such a great name for your marketing. You kept Saloon Spice, and then even though I love that scent, your redesign of it was amazing. And that is tobacco and nutmeg. And was there one other thing in there?
It's cumin, tobacco, and nutmeg. Yeah. So it's our second least pretty much complex scent. The Fool's Gold and that one, they're not super complex scents. The High Noon and the Blackheart Bourbon, we try to go a little bit more edgy, a little bit more out there. So,
and you're right, it's not complex, but you sometimes, particularly with a 1 or 2 note tobacco scent, like you have the tobacco and then maybe one other thing. I love that scent, man. The tobacco choice that you guys made, that Cuban tobacco, is so rich, and it's got that peppery kind of vibe to it. And then that nutmeg comes in, which is a great, unique choice. Since you're already doing a vanilla tobacco over here, the fact that you went with a second different kind of tobacco but added that nutmeg, I absolutely love that scent.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I have I have them all now in. Let's talk about these samplers. Okay, so this is the salve sampler. There are 4, and each has there we go, Johnny, you got it right there. They have different colored lids, and what I love about this is, firstly, check out this business card. It's like, tell me if I'm wrong, guys, but to me it strikes like an old playing card.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's long and skinny, like a 19th century playing card. Okay. And while they have a regular business card, they also have this color key for the scents on their samplers, which it's such a little kind of throwaway thing, but I think it's such an amazingly cool touch. And when I got this, when you guys sent those samplers, I was like, now this is how you do it. Because I looked at all those caps before I really looked at this. I'm like, well, how in the hell am I supposed to? And then I looked at the card because, of course, I'd gotten your stuff before, and I'm like, wait a second, this card looks a little, oh shit, look at these guys. So that's a great little touch, guys. I really appreciated this.
So, small side story, just for some interest, and for anyone who's bought a sample pack, if you got one of the early ones, what you got was each one of those little capsules actually had an individual card glued to it, and the card was just for the scent. It was in the color of the scent and everything like that. And man, those are hard to pack. Those cards get bent up, and it is so. I apologize to anyone who bought one of the early sample packs. We get better, and so we were like, we got to make this more simple, easier for people. So yeah, that's what we went with.
Well, and I think that attention to detail, and this is, I guess I'm going to be the left jab to Joe's right hook, because he's all about the scents and I'm all about the carriers. I was first off, before I forget, while we're talking about the packaging, and I'm not sure if you can see it, I love the back of this salve. All right. It lists the ingredients out and it lists the benefits for you.
Oh,
so not only are you telling them what's in there, which you're required to do by law, but you're actually doing what some of us try to do, and that's educate people what it does for you. Yeah. So I thought that was, my hat's off to you. Kudos. Good move. That attention to detail is pretty much throughout the product. The packaging, the quality is there. Now, I'll cheat a little bit and give you a preview of my result. Whenever we broke this down, the wax content in their salve is not appreciably greater than, say, Hanyaker's butter or Barden's butter. So it's not a super high content. This is definitely, they call it a salve, but common market parlance is a butter. The salve does fit their theme better. but this is not a super waxy thing to put in your beard by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
this could definitely be on my shelf as a nighttime. I prefer to go wax free as much as possible, especially during the day. But yeah, this is definitely a butter. This is definitely a butter.
Yeah. It feels that way to me too, and I absolutely love it. I also like, guys, how your strength of scent jumps a little bit more out of container now than it did. Yeah. But it's still for those people who like what I would just call, and I hate this term because it's almost like the word interesting. The word interesting is just what you say when you don't want to say anything more particular. That could be critical. But it is a solid smell in that it's not going to be very short in beard and it's not going to be super long in beard, but it's going to be in that 3 to 5-ish range, at least with the new scents. And I just have the one. But I want to give it, Johnny hasn't talked yet, and Johnny's the one that did that amazing video with the wash. Talk about that wash, Johnny.
Yeah, the wash. I like it because it's not super thick, and it throws you off because it's not a thick wash, and it's pretty like watery. But as soon as it touches your beard and the water, it foams up like instantly. I was like, so when I first got it, I was very surprised. There was some separation. You have to shake it, of course, and then all that stuff. But yeah, just and then the scent too. Really great wash. I mean, that's like one of the best beard washes. That is like a beard, not a co-wash, but like one of the best beard washes I own. And like I said, I'm down to a little bit. I got to order more. But yeah, it was just I was taken back by that and how fast it lathered up and all that.
I don't want to cut you off too much. What you're saying is all true. You got a wash that was probably how long ago was that now? 2 months or so?
Yeah.
Probably about that, something like that. We actually fixed the separation issue. So that was our first iteration of the wash. It shouldn't separate at all now, and it is a little bit thicker, but it has all the same components and everything like that. That really came down to some of the processes that we do on our end. And as we tested it more, like because we didn't want it that runny, we didn't want to separate it all. Because again, any frustration for the customer, that's the first thing that we try to just eliminate. So yeah, it's
having just got their stuff from a week ago. No separation issues.
Oh wow,
none.
Okay.
And I got a couple. I've got the big bottle of the High Noon, and I've got a couple of their sample bottles. No separation. No separation. It comes out in a nice, smooth, consistent gel form. So no issues there whatsoever.
Yeah, we got to get you a new one, Johnny.
Yeah. Hell, I just shake it up a couple times.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
That's what I told Johnny. I'm like, Johnny, just give it a couple shakes.
Yeah, I just shake it.
Well, now there are some that you definitely have to shake up. The only shaking involved was whenever I was just turning it upside down. So it came out nice and smooth for me.
John, before we leave Dodge City as like a company, could you pull up their Instagram? Because theirs is one of my favorite Instagram accounts out there. And this is what caught my eye in the first place to even get me to the point where I purchased the guys and then reviewed the guys, and then has led us to this path where we finally get a chance to talk live with them. This is one of my favorite feeds because pull up that one right there with the cactus. The famed gunfight at the OK Corral wasn't much of a shootout and didn't take place at the OK Corral. What I love about this is whether the guys are pulling your leg and messing with facts or giving true history with that Western theme. I love that background. Notice the barber pole there on the left kind of faded in, the Dodge City in the upper left. On this one, it's a cactus. There's a variety of Western thematic imagery that the boys use on this. And there's just a great sense of humor. And right under the post, right under whatever the image is, they'll then usually discuss a little bit more about what it is they're talking about. And most of the time or is it all the time, guys? Is it fact?
It's a mix. We sometimes we're trying to like give a little bit of insight.
So this one actually is, I got super interested on the OK Corral the other day, and I did a ton more research after watching the movie, and I was like, oh, the world needs to know.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, oh, I knew that. I knew like it wasn't that grandiose. About
the facts. We have there's a lot of actual facts, and then there's a lot of Dodge City facts.
Right, which I love, which I absolutely love. So at the very least, even if you're not going to buy the boys' product, this is someone you should follow, because it's always at least once or twice a week you'll have a little grin. You'll feel that need to post something, whether it's just a heart or say something. This being historical, I got into it a little bit because I think Wyatt Earp's probably a prick, and he has had a romanticized image of his life done thanks to Hollywood and others. And but I love this kind of stuff, and I would say for sure follow Dodge City on Instagram. There we go. Johnny is scrolling through a variety, and he's liking it right there. Liking it. I saw Brett Burton, who's in the chat, and he's becoming a regular, said he just started following you guys not too long ago.
Thank you.
Awesome. Rob Acker in the house. Who else
Rob,
is
what's up, Rob? How you doing?
Barn Brand is in the house. Broke ass says smart guys, smart. So a couple people commented on your brush, guys. I like that brush too. I just like to look at it. I need a new boar's hair. Is your guys stiffer or more flexible bristles?
More flexible, yeah, and that's personal preference, right? Some people feel like stiff bristles, like that's what you're going for.
Yeah,
not your brush. All right. If you like a little bit softer, it still gets through the hair and stuff like that. But we have a lot of plans for a lot of things in the future. One of the things is different brushes for different likes. So,
and that's one of the things at the trade shows. We get a lot of feedback, real time in person, and people just straight tell you, like, I want a hard, bristly brush. And we're like, okay,
that's not us, not right now. But yeah, so we just want to be transparent. Like, we're not for everyone, but we are for everyone actually. So order now, free shipping, and
nice. I also wanted to mention, because it would be a disservice if I didn't, John, you're a veteran. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So John has served for us. I want to thank you for that service coming from veterans in my family. Thank you very much, sir. This is a big veteran community. So I don't know if that will help people. Like, I love supporting veterans. Well, you got one half of the team there that is a veteran. Did you just recently get out, John? Are you still in, or?
I got out last year.
Last year. Okay. I remembered when I had first started DMing with you guys that it felt more recent, like, in the spring or what have you.
He started it is because he got out. He couldn't grow a beard. And so the total
that's right.
is to start a beard company. Can't stop us now.
I see so many posts, John, about veterans who come out and join this community and either become huge consumers or start a company because they couldn't grow that beard in the service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
very, very cool.
Of being in the service and not being able to grow a beard. Truth be told.
All right. Anything else for Dodge City? I hope you guys out there, you're following them, you're checking them out. We've got some people hyping you up who have tried you. It is good stuff. And the one thing I want to stress before we move on is, having shared extensive DMs, more so with Matt than with John. Is it fair to say, Matt, that you're more the public?
So I don't know. When it comes to business, yeah. Like, so if it's collaboration stuff like that, I got my business degree and that like I handle a good amount of that side, but I don't want to discredit John. He does a lot. But when it comes to kind of communication, PR type stuff, yes. But when it comes to a lot of the bios, the descriptions, the social posts, I'd say it's like 75% him.
Nice.
Yeah.
John's a silent one behind the scenes. I just remember, by the way, these boys are from Virginia. They're not from Kansas. in case you didn't know, which is why I just love their theme. And how I got to know them is I just put out an all call. Hey, I would love to have some owners for this new silly series I'm doing called United Beards of America. And they jumped on. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's where our relationship began. And I've been a huge supporter, whether it's with my wallet or with my words, ever since. And the revamp guys, really impressed me in a lot of different ways. And I just feel, sky's the limit for you dudes. You're young, you're listening to the feedback. You're caring about the healthful qualities of your product. You're not trying to do 25 at once. You know, even though for my own selfish reasons, I would love 20 Dodge City cents because I love your stuff, but I totally respect and get what you're going for. Yeah. So, all right. I think, Andy, anything you want to add that doesn't give away your review or any of that kind of stuff before we move on from talking Dodge City, the company, and Johnny, you too?
Well, just because I don't talk a lot about scents in my test challenge reviews, the Blackheart bourbon, you guys mentioned that it was kind of a medium duration, and again, not to chide the dubiously committed again, but yeah, I put it in at 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm still picking it up. So maybe you guys need to, develop your mains a little bit more, and you might be able to pick up this kind of stuff. But yeah, now, truth be told, it does. By the next morning, the scent in the salve is pretty much gone. Right now, I just have oil in beard, so that's for my testing, though. But yeah, the Blackheart bourbon it's a nicely complex scent. It's not so sophisticated that it's going to just drive you nuts trying to figure out what it is. Yeah. Good solid scent. Good solid scent. It doesn't fall into any particular category. You can't say, oh, this is a tobacco. Oh, this is a cologne, or this is a barbershop. It's just kind of a nice. It's got a lot of different tones in there that work together really well. So my hat's off to you, John.
Thank you.
Great job.
Yes, sir. It's called Blackheart bourbon, but I love bourbon and tobacco scents, and it doesn't, there's a lot going on there. So for people who are thinking it's just another bourbon / whiskey scent, it is, but it very much isn't. More so it isn't than it is. And I agree. It's probably their most complex scent, and it's one of the redesigns. It wasn't one of their original. Johnny, you got anything you would like to add on here?
No, but we got some questions in chat, so
please do.
We got one from Beard Gents, posted right there. It says, do you use essential oils, fragrance oils, or both?
So the answer is both, right? And so half of this is our products are designed based off recipes from the Old West, right? And one of the essential oils that all these products had in common was actually Lang Lang essential oil. So this is something that actually goes into all the products because it was in the products, and we're trying to keep it as close to the original as we can while it's still being a good product, great product, right? Besides that, there are a couple other scents that have, like the Blackheart bourbon. At first, we were kind of secretive about it, but it has vetiver in it. It's one of the scents that just comes out. It's really nice, tops it off. It's one of the high notes.
Yeah, vetiver, I like that vetiver.
Yeah, they're here and there. Like the Cuban tobacco has the nutmeg, right? And besides that, though, some of the fragrances you can't get from essential oils, right? And we want some really interesting scents. We want some things that smell like the West, the good parts of the West, not the bad parts of the West. So yeah, we have a mix, but they're compound fragrance oils. It's a lot of stack. Some are more complex than others.
I want to echo that. I didn't bring this up, but the theme of the West is just so resonant throughout everything the guys do. And you're right. Those 4 scents that you have online right now definitely smell like the West, or what we would imagine, being 21st century people, but the West would sell it. I love that you're doing the Lang Lang. I'm going to throw a fancy English teacher word at y'all. It's called verisimilitude. And that means exacting detail for accuracy's sake. So your scents all have that verisimilitude. I mean, I just look and I think like, well, sarsaparilla is probably in something, because you always hear about sarsaparilla in Westerns or something like that. But the Lang Lang, this blew me away. I would have never realized that, because it's a floral scent, right? Lang Lang?
Yeah.
And it would just blow me away that that these rough and tough rugged dudes would wear stuff with Lang Lang in it, But yes.
3 different Lang Lang. Just a fun fact.
And the interesting thing about that is an aromatherapy is used to help people with depression.
Lang Lang is.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that the beard products, but I'm saying that the beard now.
Yeah, we're not saying it's going to cure depression,
Right.
or maybe grandma's cancer will go away.
This
but
depression right
Boys,
it is called snake oil. It is called snake oil.
You say whatever the hell you want. It's part of the theme. It's part of the theme. It cures depression and puts 3 inches on your penis. That's okay. That's all right. And if you're an old man, your balls don't sag as low, which is what I buy it for, is the less ball saggage. But you got to kind of spread it on there. All right. So on that note, anyway, what I'm talking about. On that note, we're going to transition out of here. Beard Jam. I want to look at the chat real quick. Johnny, you said you had multiple questions before I cut you off. Were there other ones you wanted to highlight?
No, everything I looked to ask. A lot of it was already covered. The only thing that I do have in like my list of questions for companies is there anything that you can disclose coming, out, and you have any secret projects or anything like that, or you want a hint or anything like that? Any new scent dropping? I know you got to keep it small. Like I see, but maybe a 5th or 6th scent or something like that coming out.
Yeah. So one, actually, I'll give a little teaser here that we actually weren't planning, but it's interesting enough. One thing, and I'll let you go over that, but we are going to have a 5th scent at some point, right? And we actually have a product coming before that he'll talk about in a second. But this 5th scent will resonate with a certain part of the West, and it'll be themed around this part of the West, and it'll kind of almost be like a promotional type thing where the website and the Instagram will reflect that, and we'll kind of really dig deep into this part of the West that sometimes gets overshadowed, and it'll be built around that. So there is a 5th one coming out. We don't want to get crazy with scents, just not us, but that'll be pretty cool. And then our new product.
Yeah, so we were talking again earlier about the difference between balms and butters and waxes, and we call it a salve because the Western theme. And like Andy said, it's more of a butter. It's not designed to be a waxy, holdy. But with that being said, we get a lot of, at the trade shows we go to, people want wax, and we're thinking we can do it, and we want to call it tar because the Western
nice.
Nice. Tar. So
the heavy wax will be your tar, and then the more buttery will be your salve.
Yep.
Oh, I love it.
Love it. Yeah.
I love it, boys. Oh, I love it. Good marketing. Good marketing.
That's as much as you're getting. We got a lot of plans, but we don't want to overpromise stuff. So
yeah. I get it. We don't want you to reveal anything you're not confident revealing, but these guys are they're smart. They listen, and they're in. I've talked to Matt. This isn't a one and done kind of thing. He wants to do this for the long haul, and I imagine John is right there along with them. They want to be here in 5, 10, 15 years doing this kind of thing. Yeah. Maybe in 10, 15 years I'll have like 10 cents, but then I might be dead though, so I don't know how many I'm going to get. So if I could just make a request, a couple more cents, but and now you got me all, some part of the West that we're not talking about. Oh, now I'm all titillated. Johnny, are you titillated?
You know that the 6th sense, the sixth scent they come out with is going to be called 6-shooter. You know that. I'm calling it now.
Well, now
we call the 6-shooter.
Now it is, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's my feedback. I have a candle with this scent, and I love it. And I've only seen 1 or 2 other beard companies that have this, and that is Cactus Blossom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cactus. It's the West. So I'm not gonna say anything else. It's not like I got any inside scoop. But if the boys were to go down the line with Cactus Blossom, I would be very excited.
Don't guess good. No.
All right. Hold on a second. Old man needs his glasses. Someone vamp for me.
They're probably in your case, bud.
Yeah, thanks.
Real smart.
I got my son here. Does anyone want to see me torture my son live with this new Running Man logo?
No.
Yeah, you keep it up. You're going to get some Running Man on you.
Yeah, you are.
It's cheap.
Brett Berlin says, Dodge City, I love you guys thinking outside the box. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clint Rogers in the house. Good to see you, son, my man. Knights of the Golden Circle, Broke-Ass Beer Supply says. Halifax.
That's my boy.
Yeah, okay. Isn't it bedtime?
Nope.
Well, it's about to be.
Got 15 minutes, son.
Do you have a mute button? That's all I know. All right. Johnny. Johnny.
Yes.
You want to do some reaction videos?
Yeah, I got a few here.
Okay, for those who have tuned in for the last couple weeks, there are going to be no severed digits,
right?
Nor are there going to be any intestinal what do we call that? Excretia. Yeah. Johnny is taking us back to something a little more mellow, against my wishes, kicking and screaming.
Yeah, but just to keep it comical. I know, like, the one that I'm going to show, like, it's a classic. I call it a classic because it's been on the internet for so long. But it just cracks me up every time I see it. So I was like, you know what, this will be good.
Just so you know, guys, while Johnny's setting this up, last week we had Lone Bear Beard on, and Keith from Lone Bear Beard lost half of his pinky over the summer and had video of the surgery. Ooh. So that was one of the reaction videos. And I was like, no, thank you. But
yeah, like it was an amputation surgery. So yeah, it was. We only showed like maybe like 5 seconds of it because it was really gnarly. And
but it was good viewing. Although I got all with it.
Yeah. Oh, Joe made the best faces. That was hilarious.
Half of his pinky, right?
What's that?
He got to keep the other half of his pinky, right?
It looks like that.
I asked him if he did.
Like a nub.
Oh,
All right, so I got this set up. So this is one. I have 3 small clips because I stumbled into like a gold mine of like reaction of things that are funny. So I was like, I just keep it to 3 small ones. So I don't know if you ever seen this one. Guy with a chef, he's cooking, and
I have not seen this. Why does he look like the cream of wheat dude?
You hear the grease popping, right?
I don't hear shit. It's still, Johnny.
You don't hear it? No, it's not still. He's thinking about what he's going to do. So he's really thinking about it really hard. So
I don't hear grease. He shakes it.
Oh God.
Every time. That's the bit that gets me every time. Hilarious. Oh man.
Oh my God. So that's a classic, Johnny. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, that's an old one. But yeah.
Even I caught my kids flour or something smothering at that moment when if that should happen.
That's so funny when he threw water on it. Oh man, a whole tower of fire.
By the way, Johnny,
that cracks me up every time.
I think we had audio on that video.
Wait, hold up,
shit.
Let me I guess let me reshare the screen and make sure that the audio box is checked. Yes, let's share audio. All right.
We didn't hear anything.
All right, so this is the second one. This one has no audio, so
okay.
Bam!
Oh no! What?
I will love this.
Can we shoot that?
He's dead.
He lived.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Helifat, give me a comment because I know you do a lot of skate stuff. Oh my goodness gracious!
Oh no! Oh
man!
Poor baby. That's it.
Yeah, somebody's going to the chiropractor.
Yeah.
No.
More fire.
It's got the gas.
Oh.
They're out here now.
Stuck the landing hard, said Eric.
Oh, get in the pole. Oh, yeah. Stop and roll. Don't jump.
the whole backyard got. Oh man, I felt like that ended too fast. But I think the people that were actually recording it were like, "All right, we need to stop recording," and that's the situation. But yeah.
Well, I'm always worried that we've put too many warning labels on everything. Now I feel better. You need putting warning labels on there. We're good.
Yeah, it's a necessity now. All the warning labels, and even if you put warning labels, people still don't listen. You know,
it makes me think of the old George Carlin bit where, you know, like and I think he was doing this in the 90s in reference to like all the hand soap that was going on at the time and still is going on. And how he would talk about how when he was a kid, they swam in the East River and how they were tempered in shit. And because that's what was flowing through the East River, and that nowadays parents are too concerned and they're not exposing their kids to stuff that they could build up natural immunities to. I don't know about George's health science there, but something about it resonated with me. Like, yeah, maybe he's got something there, you know? Did you guys ever see the one where the guy lights a? And there's the one. I'm sure there are many where they put a fucking firecracker in a dude's ass, like. They put the stem of the firecracker in the dude's asshole and light it.
The bottle rocket?
Yeah.
And the shit is kicking back on him. And he's, oh, God, I love that. Oh, Schadenfreude. I love that.
Now I want to find it. What bottle rocket butt shot?
We're just going to do that video so we can get some publicity.
There you go.
American God City gear. Like, check this out.
Do it on
you stand there with the beard wash and the balm. Just someone in the background with a smile while that's just going on.
Helifat says that guy's alive and is fully going to recover. That's unfortunate. You can do it again.
I don't think he's gonna fully recover.
Yeah. How do we define fully recover? Like mentally recover too? Like, can you get over that?
I think he might have been down a few cells before he tried that one.
That's true. Yeah.
You know.
So when I Google bottle rocket butt shot, should try to find this video for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot. You know, there's a lot of people do this. Why do people do this shit? Like, what's wrong with you? You know, like what the hell?
Insta fame.
It's not even like. If you think about it, it's the spark. It's fire that's gonna fire at your body, and if you clench, it's gonna explode. It's not gonna fly out of your ass. It's gonna explode. Like, you know, what the hell's wrong with you?
I think you need to.
Or worse yet, splinters. Or worse yet, you get some splinters if you clench up.
Oh yeah, on the way out, yeah. Oh, god damn. Oh.
And this is the generation that's going to be taking care of us old people. Oh man,
it's a scary thought, man.
Yeah, I'm terrified. No,
Andy, you and I are Woodsy the Owl kids, and this is what I tell my students: I don't give a fuck when it comes to littering anymore, because you know what? You're going to live a lot longer than me, so I will litter the shit out of everything, and on top of that. I will think of you while I do it, because my kids will be like, Dad, don't. I'll be like, no. I paid my dues. I had the give a hoot, don't pollute bullshit. All right. Now it's my time to be a dick, and you all can deal with it. Okay. And that's the way I look at it.
Well, if we would quit making so many advances in medical science, the baby boomers would go ahead and die off, and we could stop listening to their BS. Jesus, die already. You had your day.
Get everything handed to you.
Here's the way I look at it. If glaciers are melting by the mile, my Taco Bell hot sauce wrapper isn't doing shit. So have at it.
When you times that by some odd
mile away.
You times that way of thinking by like some odd million billion people, and that's what you get. Like, you know, you get an entire ocean full of garbage. You ever seen the amount of garbage that's like floating? It's like an island.
Yeah.
You see the rubber duckies, like the army of rubber duckies that all collected in the ocean.
Yes.
And they all like by themselves are all together.
I've seen all that shit. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck. Because before that ever gets fixed, I will be a dead man. So I don't give a fuck. And on top of all of that, Johnny, I'm not throwing my Taco Bell wrappers into the ocean. So that's something I'm not doing.
You'll get there. Eventually we'll get there.
Robert Ojo, honestly, I commend you, because for all the people that litter, they try to like deny by like, it's not that bad. You like seem to just embrace it. So like,
I do.
More power to you. At least you own it. Like that.
I own that. My oldest girl is so green, and I will just like a fucking movie villain. I will just look at her, and she'll know I'm about to litter, and I'll just look at her, and I'll rip off that piece of the ketchup packet or whatever, and I'll just kind of dangle it out the window. Boom, and she'll go, Dad, and that's There's an old saying in the Ayers household: no one fucks with Ayers. Ayers does the fucking. All right, and that's my life credo. Let's see what the chat has to say. Hella fat. Damn, Joe. Rob thinks I'm going to hell. Stupidity isn't a virus, but it sure spreads like one. Bearded zebra. I'm gonna hope that was for the ass rocket launchers. When I'm standing at the gate to heaven talking to St. Peter, I'm telling him Joe. Rob, I worried about all that shit till I hit like my 30s or 40s, and then I just don't give
up. It's free country.
We should call this live stream Real Talk. Forget Jay Hustle. This is Real Talk.
I don't want to live here.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't litter, but like, support you. Yeah, I support your freedom. So. That's about the best we can walk that line.
Look, if I'm going to hell for littering, I've done a lot worse than I will not admit to.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm just kind of staying quiet over here.
Probably it for us. Yeah.
Well, thank you for those React videos, Johnny. I appreciate it. Nice not having the real world impinging on us like we did the last couple of weeks, although damn, those were some good videos. Those are some damn good videos. I will say that right now. So, Matt and John, or maybe just Matt, you said you are starting to try some other people's products. Who you wearing? Who you liking?
That's a good question. So one of the recent ones that I got was actually Barn Brands, who I think is in here as well.
Yeah.
And big array of products, a lot of different ones. So been trying that stuff. Also been trying some of the kind of local ones that aren't on Instagram and aren't, I mean, you guys wouldn't know about them, but we'll see them like at shops and trade shows and stuff like that. One of the, what's his, I can't think of his name. It's the lion themed.
Savage Mane.
Savage Mane, yeah, Savage Mane. So we actually met him at a trade show.
Yeah.
Really awesome guy. Like, man, you want to hate your competitors. What a great guy. And he's got some really good sense as well. I couldn't bring myself, due to my self-esteem, to buy from him at the trade show. So I sent my mom, and she bought something from him. So, but no, he has good stuff, and he's just out there. Yeah, got the mustache wax. So he's out there hustling like us. I respect him. He's in our state as well. He's competition, but he's doing good up there. Yeah, he came from Pennsylvania, and he just recently moved to Virginia. So.
That he did. He was actually he was my UBA co-host for Pennsylvania. KC is just a hell of a nice dude. He's one of those guys that only does this.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a day job like most of us do. Most of you guys do. I'm not an owner. And he's always at those shows. So yeah, much respect to KC for that.
Yeah, and his beard and hair are like, he's just rocking the whole line thing. Like it's going.
And like you guys, I mean, his sense, Mapogo, Apex, Savannah, that whole thematic thing. I love that kind of marketing. I just think it's so attractive.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, guys? What's going on?
I'm waiting for someone to take over. I'm just taking a quick breath here. Andy?
I was kind of worried about you, man. I was kind of worried. Is Joe having a heart issue over there? Johnny? Is he okay?
He seems fine. I don't know. He's not twitching or nothing. Look, still the same color,
Let me ask a question to you guys. For these small companies that aren't part of they haven't been reviewed on YouTube, they're not part of Instagram.
Yeah.
How are they trying to break out of that small local market? Now, in full disclosure, I am wearing my Barker's Beard shirt tonight. So, and whenever I met Caleb, I actually met him in a live stream, somebody else's live stream, and he was just breaking out of his local market, and I was actually his first online customer. Okay. So how, for somebody like me, that the scents are important. Obviously, you don't want to smell like this cheese thing that Joe's talking about.
Lemon cheese.
But how are those guys trying to just put it online so they could be found, whether it's on Facebook or Snapchat or Reddit or something? What are they trying to do to get out there? Because I'm my whole premise is I am looking for a company that if the great beard wars ended, this company could be your go-to company and you wouldn't have to worry about, going to 19 other places.
Yeah.
I think for us here, once we started getting into the trade show scene, you kind of see what the actual community looks like.
Your
people
local
around
community.
the area, and what they're doing. There's a lot of I think we were talking about Lush earlier, and soaps and stuff and things like that.
So they get in the soap market and stuff like that. They'll do stuff that sells at trade shows, and a lot of it, like, unfortunately, this is a two-way street, right? You as a reviewer and a tester and things like that, you guys are searching for these companies, but they have to meet you halfway, right? So a lot of them don't have social media presence. They have a friend who knows a barbershop owner, and they get into a barbershop, and then they get into another, and they kind of take a different, more traditional route, right? So they forego the social thing, and they're building it in a more traditional way, and I respect that. Like, we think that's
the Alaskan beard company.
Yeah, so there's a couple of Alaskan beard companies and stuff like that.
His story is like exactly like that. I think it's what you're asking. Is he started local? Pull it up in a second.
Like the Frost beards, I forget what the
Frost.
Yeah. So he started local. He's just going after Alaska. It's that type of thing. And now he started to, like, you've seen a shift if you've ever followed him, that he's really started to go with the social thing, right? He's kind of like figured it out, and he's like, I'm going to build this. I'm going to just connect with the community online. And I think that's the thing that can take one of these unknown companies to the next level, but they have to make the plunge.
Just get online.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that whenever Joe and I first started talking through DMs on Instagram, that was the mutual interest that we had. Obviously, we look at different things. We focus in on different aspects of the products, but that was the thing that we had in common. We're looking for, not trying to put somebody on the map, overestimating our value as, I don't even want to use that I word that they use all the time, but just because we as consumers, we as guys with beards, some more so than others, Mr. Shaver, we're looking for great products to put in our beard. And if I find something cool, whether it's a wrench or a tool or a knife or a beard product, the very first thing I'm going to do is go tell my buddies about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm always thinking, okay, somewhere around the corner, I'm going to come up on one that's just going to blow my mind as far as their carrier foundation profiles, their packaging, the way they're trying to put these things together, and the way they're trying to build their scent profiles, especially out of essential oils. But I'm not a fragrance oil hater, so for anybody wanting to start that, there you go. Fragrance oils are fine. But I was just curious, because again, where I live, there's no trade shows around here. So it's not even something I could go be a part of.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have it for Virginia has a big community. They do, I don't know what you would call them, but they sell a bunch of local products in these stores, and they have them almost in every city. It's just kind of like a local market that's a store. I'm not sure if they would have that where you're at, but we see a ton of stuff in those places.
Yeah, like made in Virginia type stores, stuff like that. Like, that's where you'll find a lot of those stuff that we found. It's just about finding that local scene. Like, where are they going to go? They're going to go to the places that are going to readily most accept them. So that's where they are.
Once we start going to beard competition.
Yeah, once we start kind of spreading into more beard centric shows and stuff like that, I'm sure we're going to learn of a lot more. So.
Does Virginia keep you guys busy as far as the shows go, or do you verge into Maryland or North Carolina or Pennsylvania, some of those other close states?
Incredibly busy. There are we're centered in Fredericksburg, right? So Fredericksburg has a good amount of shows. There's a decent population. I think there's about 133,000 people in the county. So it's quite a lot of people. But right below us is Richmond. Right above us is Washington, D.C.
Right.
To the right, if you're looking at a map, east of us is Norfolk and Virginia Beach. So we don't have to go super far. There's a crazy amount of shows in Virginia.
All right. Now, you guys are both native Virginians, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you just said a word there that I take umbrage with.
Okay.
Because I believe, but you can correct me because you're the native Virginian, It's Norfolk, Virginia. And what better way than to get a free fuck in there than to say Norfolk? All right. So, Virginia, native Virginians, is it truly Norfolk or is it Norfolk?
People in Norfolk say Norfolk.
Nice.
We're not from there, so we don't say.
Because obviously that comes over from England, and there's a Suffolk that goes with it.
Yeah.
And in England, it's Norfolk and Suffolk.
Yeah.
And I've heard Norfolk, and I always have this argument with my wife because I tell her, if I can say fuck legally, I'm going to say it. I mean, it's just that simple.
No, you're saying it authentic. We're just like posers to them. So it's very split. It's a Central Virginia, Southern Virginia, Northern Virginia. It's all very divided. It's not like a one state thing.
Extremely.
Any Virginians in here? Halifax grew up in Colonial Beach. He was born in Fredericksburg, Halifax. Umbridge.
Fredericksburg. There we go. Oh, that's awesome. That's super local. Hello. Yeah.
Javier showed up.
By using Umbridge.
I'm
an English teacher, Rob. You know this.
Fredericksburg's super cool too. We love Fredericksburg. It's the perfect community for like what we're doing. It has a like really good downtown vibe. It's also a commuter city for DC. No.
But Virginia's awesome, and you guys should come. I know that you're coming down to look at the arm again.
Yeah, yeah. We have a lot of history here, a lot of Civil War stuff, and it inspired like the whole Western thing, right? Like we're not from Dodge City, Kansas. Kind of a ghost town now, but that whole era, the Civil War era, and the 1800s they make such a big deal of it here. It's kind of the one theme, that and the Revolutionary War, that they can only hit you over the head with it so many times before you make a company about it. So,
and that's the last time when, until now, beards were really in vogue, is in that latter 19th century. I mean, that's when we had presidents with beards like Grant. You know, you look into the 20th century, except maybe right around the turn with something like Arthur, you got no presidents with beards. But Lincoln, Grant, you have all these presidents with beards. So I think it works. Now, Fredericksburg is where the big crater is, right? Their battlefield, is that the one that has the big crater from them undermining? And is that Fredericksburg?
I don't think so. No, I don't. If I don't know of it, I should.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
We'll move on from that then.
That one died on the vine, Joe.
Oh, crater.
Swing and a miss, buddy.
English teacher, Umbridge. I'm a Civil War enthusiast, but I don't teach the shit. Johnny Grooms, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You've been quiet, brother. What's going on in your mind?
Well, it's about an hour. All right, so it's like towards the end, right? We're at the tail end of the show, right?
You tell me, Johnny.
Yeah. All right.
Get it off your chest, Johnny. Hit us with it.
Well, all right. So this week is mental health awareness week, and so to do something for that, I did a video and I shot it today. It's basically me without a week of medication, trying to do a beard review, going through like all the things that I go through, when, I'm not, up to date on my medication and all that stuff. So it's still kind of like lingering in because I just started back up after a week this afternoon. So I have a video like that coming out. It's totally unedited. It's 16 minutes long and it's off. It's like really off. So on my YouTube channel, I hit 200 subscribers and I wanted to do like a live thing on Friday, but it didn't pan out really well. So I wanted to do a giveaway for that. So I thought, I'll bring the giveaway here. So I have a bundle from Crusher's Creations that was donated for the live stream on Friday that got, canceled. So I have a giveaway to do tonight. I just haven't figured out how to do this giveaway. Should we do like a trivia thing or what do you guys think?
I think dick pics. Everyone takes dick pics, and whoever's the shortest wins. That's my vote. Because everything's about length in this country. We need those little light switches to stand up and be counted.
Okay.
I spy.
Well, we're very competitive, so
No.
Panel guests unfortunately, are not eligible for the giveaway. But if you want to send a gift, what am I going to say? I win. Rob Hacker says I win.
Oh man.
I don't know, Johnny. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I should have thought about this more.
You could have done you can always do the random number generator if you want to do that. What do we have? We got 11 in. So
11 people in. I don't actually have a random number generator app.
Oh,
so.
Well, Johnny, I'm not sure if you know what I do for a living, but the topic you're speaking on is something that I work with on a daily basis. A trivia question would be, the color associated with the day, the one specific color.
Man, can we just guess? Like, oof, I really want.
Oh yeah, all right. We'll go for the color associated with today.
Mental health awareness.
Mental health awareness. The color associated with today. Go.
Kind of like the
get the Googling, you cheap bastards.
I know this for the NFL. Ooh.
We're getting some colors.
Just start throwing colors out there, guys. Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, you do know the color, right, Johnny?
Huh?
You do know which color it is, right?
No, I'm looking it up now because
I'm betting someone hit it. Yeah. We got green, purple, yellow, blue, purple, red.
Yeah, just start throwing.
Somebody said it.
Somebody
said it.
Yeah.
All right, who hit it, Andy?
No,
it's Johnny's. It's Johnny's giveaway.
What's the color?
Can we say it?
Yeah, say it.
It's green. It's green.
Hella fat in the house.
Yeah.
All right. There. There's my first ever giveaway. Completely botched.
I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah.
Here's the great news, Johnny. If I'm not mistaken, Hella Fat, and tell me if I'm wrong, dude, because Hella Fat and I have DM'd. He has not tried Crushers or has not tried their oils. There's something with that with Hella Fat.
Well, Hella Fat, just shoot Crushers Creations a DM and Instagram and let him know, and then he'll hook you up with a combo. I think it's an oil and a balm or oil and a butter. I forget which one. I think it's an oil and a balm. But yeah, that's it. I apologize for all of that.
Crusher's new scent, Enlightened, is really speaking out to me. I've this close to caving on that one.
Oh, it's good. I really like that one. That's like one of my favorite cologne scents.
Yeah. I'm not a huge cologne scent guy, but I am a huge Crushers Creation guy. So I will be seriously contemplating that one. And I also wanted to say one more thing for the reviewers that are here and et cetera. This is kind of an exciting season for me as a content consumer, because we get all the best of lists, starting up here in about a month or two. And I think that's really, really cool. Best scents, best companies, best this, best that. And some people, do them throughout the year. But I think it's very, very exciting because even though I've tried a ton of stuff, I know I haven't tried all of the stuff. Mm-hmm. And I get excited to see what my peers, think of other scents and particularly companies I haven't tried. So I'm very excited for the next couple months.
Well, and for me, the exciting part is learning about companies and trying to dig up and see if there's something there for me to actually get into. There are literally hundreds of companies out there that are just doing backyard mixing up the same 3 or 4 carrier foundations, and there's nothing for me to test. I know what it does. It's just average run-of-the-mill stuff. So whenever I see somebody do something different, not from the scent side, But I mean, yeah, that too. But I'm a huge cologne guy. So yeah, that for me, that to me is what's most interesting. Is seeing the different. First time I saw pumpkin seed, or the first time I saw hemp seed, the first time I saw rose hip. Just and going on. You can go on and on and on. There's just a ton of them out there.
You have a question. Beer Zebra asks, "What's the difference between masculine scent and cologne scent?"
Oh, here's what I would say, and anyone can obviously jump in from the chat or what have you. A cologne scent to me reminds me of, well, a cologne. There are masculine scents out there. Like I think of like the whiskeys, the tobaccos, and a few others. Those are masculine without necessarily being cologne-y. Yeah. Whereas, guys, if I'm not mistaken, your original Saloon Spice was very cologne-y. Am I correct there?
Yeah, and yeah, it's the pungence, I would say, makes something a little bit more cologne-y. Like it's that sharp, like kind of kick that you get. That would probably. Yeah, I don't know. You know it when you smell it. That is hard to define.
Yeah, that is a good point. You know it when you smell it.
Yeah. Great
question, though. Absolutely great question.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Yeah, the masculine scents would be, the tobaccos, bourbons, and then cologne scents are just cologne scents. Like, like everybody's got a Polo Red scent. I think Kingdom Beard came out with a Cool Water scent. That's cologne. That's.
But sometimes you get cologne scents that aren't necessarily trying to replicate cologne scents that have been on the market.
You know what I mean? Oh, yes.
So
and those, in my opinion, and Joe, since you've referred him, and I've been wearing his hat for months now, Premium does that very, very well. He doesn't come out, hey, this is a cologne scent, but most of his scents, at least the ones that I've gotten, do have that cologne vibe to them. They're a different spin on it. It's not like, oh, this is like Johnny was saying, a Polo Red or an Old Spice or whatever. He puts his own riff on it. So and again, now that I'm starting to look into the science of building scents, I've really begun to appreciate, Mr. English teacher, the mastery involved and hey, let's give Dodge City their due. Vetiver is not an easy scent to tame. Patchouli, there are a lot of companies out there that are really they say they're using patchouli, but patchouli is whipping their ass. And then you got the other guys. It's like, yep, we got that figured out. Boom. So there are some really difficult ones out there, and Dodge City, and like I said, I'm spoiling my shit, Joe. Damn it! But yeah.
Well, I will say this: I don't like smoke, but I like vetiver. The fact that vetiver, because I never looked up Blackheart Bourbon's profile. I just smelt it in that wash and said, God dang, I love this. Now I want to go next time I use it, because I used it tonight. Next time I use it, I want to see if I can pull that vetiver out, because it is a stronger scent. And if it's in there, you guys did a nice job of disguising it, because it can overpower from what I've seen.
It's a lot. We have very specific how much to put in, because if we put in too much, it's a bad batch. It has to go in the garbage. So you just have to be really careful with scents like that.
Yeah.
Ow. I have claws in my shoulder. You see it? You see it right there? There's a claws there in my shoulder.
Little shit. Yeah, we love cats. So we just love animals.
I'm scared to move.
Here's my problem with animals. Okay.
After I'm done living it, I'm just looking for an animal.
Okay, here's my thing with animals. These are the discussions I have when I go on to tangents with my classrooms. I do not like the hierarchical aspect of animals when it comes to consuming. For example, we don't bat an eye at eating chicken or a cow, but heaven forbid we should ever want to eat a dog.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why are dogs so special?
I agree.
Have you? They're really good boys. Have you seen them?
Dogs?
Yeah. Dogs are good boys. You can't eat them.
Yeah, you can't eat good boys.
That's a good boy.
And like that thing that's wrapped around Johnny's neck right now. I throw a little soy sauce, a little Worcestershire on that bad boy, a little cayenne. Man, that might be the shit, dude. But I'll never know because I can't eat a cat.
That's just America. A freaking cat. Other countries, they eat everything else. Like, other countries, in South America, they eat guinea pig. We sell them in pet stores.
Yeah, giant guinea pigs. In India, they don't know from fucking peanut butter. It grosses them out. It's a staple here. Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, if we're going to eat a chicken, if we're going to eat a cow, if we're going to eat a pig, I think we got a problem with domestic pets. Let's give it a shot. Someone will put a pop-up restaurant, and let's skewer a cat, and let's just try it.
No, don't even call it cat. Call it something else.
Well, I hate to be the contrarian since I'm from Georgia, but I have to say peanut butter is revolting. I hate peanut butter.
What?
I loathe peanut butter. Cannot stand peanut butter.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
All that we thought that we'd be on.
Wait, is this the consistency of peanut butter, or is it the flavor? Like,
it's this. It's the All right. So if you grow up next to or near something that's being produced, you have a completely different scent memory of it. And you can, during certain times of the year, you can drive by just hundreds and hundreds of acres of peanuts being one. And it's not a pleasing aroma. Okay. This is not a flowering plant. Okay. It smells pretty much like dirty sweat socks. And so whenever they pull the peanuts out of the ground, obviously they grow underground. All that dirt and just funky smell. Right. Yeah, can't do it, man. Can't do it. Right. Even like Reese's Pieces and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, man. Ugh. But I think Joe might be onto something. And in which case, in case we have the zombie apocalypse, I do have 3 dogs and a cat, 2 cats. But when my wife sees this, I'll probably be sleeping on the couch for.
That's why I love bigger breeds of dogs. You never know when they can multitask as a meal. And here's what I'm going to say to Rob Acker. He says I'm going to hell. Rob, I know you love a hamburger and a steak. In India, they would string you up for that shit because the cow is a sacred animal. Here's all I'm going to say. I don't want to necessarily eat a cat, but I don't think that we should have that avenue closed off. For all we know, to quote Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction, sewer rat may taste like pumpkin pie, but I never know because it's a filthy motherfucker. All I'm going to say about cat is they're persnickety, they hiss, and if I'm going to choose one animal from the domestic kingdom, it's a cat. Dog has too much personality. I want to try cat because maybe, just maybe, it's good.
He was just sitting on.
No, he was just sitting on his shoulder. Oh, that is personality. Yeah.
I'm not overly worried about. I'm not overtly worried about the nation of India rising up and coming over here and kicking our asses. I mean, have you seen these dudes? They come in 2 varieties: really, really short and chubby, or really, really skinny because they haven't seen a decent meal in years. So I'm not. We'll pick them up, and put them down. So I'm keep eating my cow.
Yeah,
Beer Jets thinks I'm going to hell too.
No, I have a couple of Indian guys that are, friends and they're bodybuilders and all that stuff.
Isn't that an oxymoronic term, Indian bodybuilder?
No, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a shit. He's a football player, yeah.
It was true.
Wow.
Yeah. So
even the guy in the WWF that was like 7'2" was not muscly. He was just fucking big.
And look at the guy talking about wrestling now. The wrestler Jinder Mahal. If you see him, he looks like he's on fucking steroids. He's jacked and
probably is.
Super cut and all that crap. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to blame Dodge City for getting me off on tangents of cat and litter just because they're our guest tonight. And I'll throw a little of that blame to Andy just because he's got a huge beard and I don't. Couple things I want to say. Number one, gentlemen, thank you very much, both Dodge City and Andy, for joining us tonight. We're going to call this a wrap. And if hopefully you hung out with us for this hour and a half, give Dodge City a try. Their wash is great. Definitely. Oils are great. Their salve is great, and there's more stuff coming. And boys, continued success. Andy, you're doing your thing. You're on a Dodge City roll this week. I'll be interested to see what's coming up the next week. I just wanted to say real quickly, since Johnny was so candid and talked about, mental health, etc. This is also National Down Syndrome Month. I have a daughter with Down syndrome, and the bearded practitioner, Andy, who has a grandson with Down syndrome, he and I are going to do it live at some point in October to talk about, I don't know, something. He asked me to do it with him, and I'm all too willing to do that because of my daughter. Andy, anything coming up for you outside of Dodge City? Do you know who's next in your sights?
I plan on doing, I owe Caleb, and that's why I wore his shirt. I owe Caleb a review on YouTube. He was my very first Instagram test challenge. So if you hit me up on Instagram and go all the way down to the bottom, he was the first company I did. So I'm going to do a righteous YouTube test challenge review. The results are already, I've got my notes. I've just got to get time to do it. So it's going to be him. I'm going to be doing Chesapeake. I'm going to be doing Ruddy Man. I just got something in from Rugged Smuggler. And sometime soon, Crushers. So I have been double dog dared to do Crushers. So
that's a good double dog dare, man. Johnny Grooms, what you got coming up?
Friday's my mental health video, but I am definitely going to start. I keep putting it off, but I got to start the retro series, the series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what I did on Instagram was I reached out. I just put a post out there. I said, DM me your first cent and when you started selling it, and I got a bunch of DMs and of the very first cent that WMB put out and when they put it for sale and all that stuff. So basically, what kicked off their whole campaign and brand, basically. So that's I'm doing a series of that. I got to start filming that. Yeah, I just got new Beard Octane. It's the first time I'm really gonna try Beard Octane and do a review for Beard Octane, and yeah, that's what I got going on.
I don't do so much with reviews anymore. However, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Dodge City has their own special reviewer. He's my cousin, Barbado Joe. And as the boys sent me the samples of their cells, Barbado Joe is chomping at the bit to talk about them. So that's definitely going to be coming out in the next couple weeks. And that's about it for me, although I am going to do a top 25 cent video, and I am going to do a top dozen companies video, by the end of the year. And I know the Dodge City, since they gave us a tease, I'll give them a tease back, is on at least one, if not both of those lists. So I'm looking forward to doing that because I just kind of love those list-making fucking things. I think they're cool. Guys, anything you want to say? We'll close it out with any comments you guys have.
We just want to kind of thank everybody in the bearded community, you guys especially having us on tonight. It's awesome, but everybody has reached out to us, been super nice. They're into what we're doing, and we're even more into giving it to them. So yeah, just thank you to everybody. This has been an awesome journey, and we hope we can do it forever. So awesome.
Yes, sir. All right. I feel very therapeutic. I can sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Thank you, Dodge
I got to get some more Dodge City stuff.
Yeah, no kidding.
Something, John.
Andy, just Andy. And we will see y'all next week. Next Wednesday, 9 p.m. You know the deal. Take care, y'all.
I think John wants to say one more thing.
John, go ahead, John.
Yeah, just real quick, I just want to end it with don't eat your pets.
Don't do it.
Drink water.
Yeah, also that.
House on fire.
John, where are you on littering since you're making political statements right now? How's the litter thing going?
Oh, man. What's littering? All right.
Now, hold on. Wait. Where are you on Tide Pods?
Tide Pod eating?
It's a good snack.
Oh, we can eat a fucking Tide Pod, but we can't eat a cat. This country is going to hell. Quickly. All right, guys. Thank you very much, John, for the final word. We're out. We'll see y'all next week.
Take it easy, everybody.